There are some days where you're gonna wake up and you're gonna feel awful and you're not gonna feel like doing what it is that you need to do. And in this video, I wanna give you the motivation that you need to get up and still take action and succeed anyways. And what you really need is simply just the reminder that the motivation isn't gonna come by doing nothing. The motivation is gonna come by forcing yourself and having the discipline to take those first 2 steps when you don't feel motivated. And it might be more than 2 steps, it might just be 1 step, but you gotta take some number of steps that's probably going to be about 10% of the journey. Meaning if you have a task that's gonna take you 10 hours, the first 10% is 1 hour. You're gonna have to force yourself for an hour. If it's a 1 hour task, you're gonna have to force yourself for about 5 to 10 minutes, but you're gonna have to force yourself for the first 10% of the journey, and then the motivation and momentum is going to come. And the reason I'm recording this is because there's a lot of days where I don't feel like waking up, and this is the principle that has helped me. But I might forget this principle, and I want to have this documented so I can motivate myself. And I also know that there are many people like me who have struggled with the same thing and who are currently struggling with the same thing, who might be struggling with the exact thing today, who I don't want to waste today and let the lack of momentum from today spill into the next day and the next day and the next day and the next week and the next month and the next year and possibly their whole life of underachieving, even though they know they have a lot of potential. Even if they're successful in many areas of their life, there's one area where they're not, and that might be fitness. That might be Dean. That might be your family, your relationships, wherever it might be. And it could even be financial. Now, of course, the clients who I see every single day are people who had significant resources to be able to invest in a high ticket coaching program. But at the same time, even though that's my biased experience and who I've worked with, who I've helped, I know there's people out there who are struggling with their finances as well. And I know there's plenty of people who are crushing it financially, but suffering in their body. And I was one of them because there were actually multiple times where I got fat in my life, and it was usually when my business was going well. Because when my business was going well and my career was going well before I started my business, I would be working a lot, spending less time working out, spending less time meal prepping, and spending more time rewarding myself for how hard I was working and how much I was winning. And this is ironic because you start winning in one area, but you start losing in the other because you're rewarding yourself for winning with the wrong thing. It actually brings to mind a quote, which is that the reward for hard work is more hard work. But what that means is that you get into momentum and then the work becomes a lot easier. That being said though, there's still gonna be days where you wake up and you don't feel like it, but you're able to get yourself in that flow state faster because you have so many repetitions, so many reps of forcing yourself to get in that flow state when you weren't in that flow state. Even this video, like a couple seconds before I did it, I didn't necessarily feel like doing it, but there was a part of me that was called to do it. And now that I'm speaking, I'm in a flow state with what I'm talking about. And that's how it always is. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you see I'm very consistent about posting my Instagram story, but a lot of the times I don't necessarily feel like doing that first story, but once I do that first story, it motivates me to do all the other ones, and that's why I post 20 stories a day on average. Sometimes more, sometimes a little less, like 15, but I pretty much never go below 15. That's why you guys see daily client wins, and I'm trying to motivate you guys, and I'm motivating myself, and I'm motivating everybody to keep winning. And that's what it's all about. You gotta keep stacking good habits to build momentum, but there are gonna be days where you don't have momentum automatically, and so you're gonna have to force yourself to take those first few steps to stack those wins. So if you're watching this and you woke up this morning not feeling great, go ahead and force yourself to go for a walk or a run or a workout or something, even if it's just a 5 to 10 minute walk, to get some activity for the day. Next thing, don't make your first meal junk. Get some high protein. You're gonna feel way better. You're gonna feel like a winner that you ate something healthy and high protein, and then boom, keep making good decisions, carrying that momentum for the rest of the day. Keep getting more exercise, more steps throughout your day, whether it's little walks whenever you need a break or after each prayer or after each meal or whatever you wanna do to keep you in momentum with your fitness and everything else. And likewise, those tasks that you don't feel like doing at work or in your business, force yourself to tackle those first so that you can get them done and use the easy tasks that you do enjoy doing as your reward for the hard work of doing the hard tasks. It's a little mental hack that I've used to get myself to do the stuff that I hate and then use the stuff that I love doing as the reward for the stuff that I hate doing, to where you actually get way more done across both things that you like and things that you don't like. Like for instance, I hate taxes. Taxes I hate, and obviously I don't have to do taxes every day, but there's been plenty of times where I procrastinated my taxes, and then got slammed with a giant bill. And that's the worst feeling. The worst feeling is you're doing well financially, then all of a sudden you've got this enormous tax bill and you're just like destroyed. But even on those days, and if that ever happens to me again, I want this video and the videos like it to be a means that I can motivate myself to still get up and go and take action. Likewise, if I overdid it one day and I'm really sore and I wake up super groggy, or if I was too deep in a calorie deficit and woke up at 3 a.m. and couldn't go back to sleep, or if something random happened, maybe I had to go to the bathroom at 3 a.m. and I accidentally got some blue light in my eyes and now I'm struggling to fall back asleep, and the next day I don't feel great, that's fine. What it doesn't matter is how I feel when I wake up. What matters is how I feel after my morning routine. The morning routine is designed to get you in that flow state by doing a couple things that are not that hard to where you can force yourself to do them pretty easily, like going for a morning walk. They get you in a flow state, get you in momentum, get you feeling good. Posting my Instagram story, posting motivation for you all, and then boom, getting myself a motivation. So whatever it is that you need to do, whether it's a motivational talk, a walk, a workout, some good nutrition, some hydration, tackling that first task that you don't feel like doing, go tackle it now so that you can get into momentum. And I promise you that as soon as you're done, not even as soon as you're done, as soon as you're 10% through that first task, you're going to be in momentum. So I'm going to go crush some tasks that I don't feel like doing right now. I guarantee within the next 10%, I'm going to be in flow state, momentum, motivation, and crushing it. And so will you. I'll see you on the other side, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.